up is the Sintal Lubricants 85cc class, getting ready for their first moto of the day, but their third moto of the weekend. Yesterday, Billy Askew did the winning. He took the win in both motos in the big wheel, if I recall. So maximum score for him. And then in the small wheels, it was Ward Clarke taking the first race win, but then Alfie Green retaliated and took the race win in Moto 2. So they've shared a race win each. Sonny Rooney came in third in both those small wheel races. Josh Vail was solid yesterday as well, with a couple of seconds. If I'm right remembering that, I think that's correct. Yeah, he was, and then Jake Walker a couple of thirds. Right, here we go then. We are going racing, and we are going to go racing all day from here on in, non-stop. Here we go, pretty much. There'll be no lunch breaks or anything here. This is the first race of the day, right through to the final pro race later on in the day. Let's get it on. This is the Sintal Lubricants Open 85 combined class, big wheel and small wheel, scored separately, all roughly the same ages, from about 11 up to 13, 14. Who's going to get the whole shot off these mesh starts here at Lyng? Gate down, one of them didn't go down, and it was Hayden Statt getting caught. He got caught yesterday and the same thing. So that's two motos back to back. Unfortunately, that the diminutive Hayden Statt has been caught up on the start line. So this is where they go way over the back, in and around to the sand pit. So you'll see them come into view in a minute. We get some of the cameras get lost around the back a little bit. So bear with us. We're going to sort them out. There's Hayden Statt. No, sorry, Hayden Statt's right at the back. So we don't know who. Here we go. I think that might be. It's Billy Askew in the lead again. I can see Jake Walker with a much better start, as has Freddie Gardner, number 14 on the Matt Gardner racing machine. And this is where they get out into that field. It's fast, it's sweeping. We've got a little bit of rain coming down now, as you can see. So they'll sort themselves out on this opening lap. Then when they come over the finish line is when we'll be able to pick up the transponders. We may be a lap or two down on getting the timing up on screen for you. As we said, the signal here at Lyng, regards of 4 and 5G coverage, isn't the greatest. So we're it's been a difficult one just getting the live stream to you guys. So hope you're going to be enjoying it throughout the day. Remember, as you already tuned in, you didn't have to pay for this. It's free to view wherever you are in the world. Live, uninterrupted coverage all day here of the Michelin Mx Nationals, powered by Milwaukee. Right, so I think all being well, we've got the timing up here. So in a minute we'll try and get it up onto the screen as well for you. But once they cross the finish line, if you're new to this game and you're watching it for the first time, they have little transponders, a little orange box that they get that gets strapped to their forks, their front forks. So when they go over the finish line, there's a wire that goes under the circuit. That then picks up the transponder, and that's how we do all the timing and scoring here at the Michelin Mx Nationals. Gone are the days of lap scoring. It's all in this modern age done with obviously modern technology. That's the finish line there. So hopefully timing will pop up on our screen any minute. There you can see the extent of how much they launch out of that famous sandpit. I mentioned it in all the pre-record intro, how I think it was even 1986, could have been 1987 actually, where on a BBC grandstand event when motocross used to be on terrestrial TV, Dave Thorpe, I'm sure he won't mind me reminding him of that, took a major dirt digger out of that sandpit. So it can happen to the best. At that point, Dave was a two-time world champion. You can see the rain is now starting to come down a bit harder. I think we're going to have that all day, as in just showers. I don't think we're going to get persistent rain. There's Billy Askew on the GRT Impact KTM. Oh, Jake Walker getting jiggy with it, just getting on the gas a little bit too much there, and his rear wheel just caught in that ridge. There's Charlie Richmond, number 30, following his ahead of his teammate Freddie Gardner, both of them on the Matt Gardner Racing KTMs. So some great racing here. This is the big wheels and small. See, there we go, berms. What were we talking about in our pre-event intro, talking about how berms are a good place to pass, and sometimes you can put on block passes and punt riders over the top of the berms. That's exactly just what happened there between those two riders. Neither of them coming off good for it. Didn't quite catch the numbers, but we're just working, guys at home, on getting the timing up on screen for you. I look like Ryan Waggett down there. He's always easy to spot because he's in that real bright fluoro kit and livery on his bike. There's Alfie Payne. He's a wildcard rider this weekend, number 87, so good to have him with us. He's ahead of number 361, Gus Musto. Can't quite give you the positions they're in at the minute. We're just working on the timing, as we said. Lyng offers an amazing motocross circuit. What it doesn't offer is good for mobile network by any stretch. So we're just waiting for that to come. Oh, Gus Musto just momentarily stalls the bike, and that is going to allow Alfie Payne alongside him. Okay, sorry about that. We were just just having a discussion in here, with the Speed Hive timing. Hopefully you guys are getting it at home. Remember as well, you don't have to wait for us to put it on screen. You can go on Speed Hive on your app or on your tablet or whatever it is. Just go on to download it. It's called Speed Hive My Laps, and you can then find the Michelin Mx Nationals. Just go to live events. You'll pick the motocross box. Go to live events. You should see Michelin Mx Nationals Lyng. Just click on that, and then you can see all yesterday's results, all current results today, live time, and it's all on there. So they can see Ryan Waggett on screen. You can't miss him, number 55. He's always wearing that very bright kit, which is great from my standpoint, from a commentator's point of view. So we're just the guys, the cameramen out there are operatives as well. They're just finding their way as well, because we didn't live stream yesterday. A lot of the cameramen are obviously new to where the track goes and what it is, so we are going to, obviously, as we go along, we will bring better coverage once the guys find their way as well. Right, well, we've got the 85cc riders going round. Up in the next motor, of course, we've got the 7 MXY 125 and 250 racing coming up next. So we're starting with the youth. We've got this going on in a minute. We've got timing up there as well now, which is great. So let me just quickly bring you up to speed with the timing then. Race order currently. We now will be able to get the timing on screen as well. Billy Askew is currently leading the race with a 5-second lead over Jake Walker, number 99. Then it's Charlie Richmond in third. Freddie Gardner, number 14, his teammate in fourth. Chester Hyde finds himself in fifth, ahead of Ollie Bubb. Ryan Waggett currently in 7th position, ahead of Sonny Rooney, who's on a small wheel. So it looks like, to me, Sonny is probably leading the small wheel category ahead. And then it's Lewis Spratt. Alfie Getters-Green is 10th. Then it's Blake Ward Clarke. Drew Stopp, number 18, is in 12th, ahead of Josh Vail. So Josh had 2 seconds yesterday. He hasn't made such a good start in this one, down in 13th, ahead of Isaac Ash. Then Alfie Payne. Finley Pickering is 16th, ahead of Will Haddock. Then it's Jamie Keith. Jack Beery, 19th, and Gus Musto rounding out the top 20. As I said, Callum, my cohort, is not here this weekend. So what we're going to do throughout the weekend, the best we can, is drag in some riders to sit next to me and have a chat with. And we're going to start, I'm pleased to say, next to me, we've got last year's, well, it wasn't sponsored by Seven then, but last year's MXY2 champion is sat next to me. Alfie, how are you? You're good, yeah. Let me just make sure that you're coming through all right on that. 1 minute, let me just mute you a minute. Hello? Okay, sat next to me is last year's champion, Alfie Jones, in the MXY2, not this category, but Alfie, good to have you with us. Before we start talking about last year, how are you feeling?
Feeling good. Moved up into the Pro MX2 class, so it's all a learning curve this year. I enjoy racing with the bigger boys. It's a lot more aggressive, a lot more intense, but yeah, it's fun racing.
Let's go back then. Let's rewind back. Oh, we've got a couple of riders down there. That's Alfie Payne, number 87, a wild card. Who's he caught up with? Number 21, Lewis Spratt. So they've got together. And then fallout from that is somebody's probably lost their line and gone over top of the berm. You remember those days, Alfie, don't you? When you were going here, there and everywhere. I mean, you know, now you're a bit more mature, better rider. Can you look back on your youth career with, you know, like on fond memories? You know, obviously, as a kid, when you were riding this age, your aspiration was to end up being a pro. You're now in the pro category. Yeah. So what was it like being a youth rider back in the day?
It was an experience, that's for sure. You know, racing was always fun. I've been racing with the MX Nationals since I was on the small wheel. Actually claimed my first small wheel title in 2017.
Yeah.
But yeah, racing was we were just reckless. We didn't care, we just wanted to win.
See, that's the thing, isn't it, right? You were reckless, but that's just being a kid. So no matter how many times, like Dad or other people around you, it's like, okay, do this, do that. When you're a kid, you just don't think like that, do you? You just want to race. You just see the red mist, the sort of track craft maybe goes out the window. That's why I always like watching the youth classes. Probably you now, looking back. You know, so it was a big thing when it coming through youth. When did you start to sort of believe as a rider that you felt that you could possibly make it as a pro? Was you already firmly believing at this age in the small wheels, or
from when I first started, I always wanted to be the best. Whatever I do, I want to be the best that I can be. But it was when I sort of stepped up into the 65 class and I started being there and abouts in the nationals. And just from then on, really, you pick idols, which I'm now racing.
Yeah.
And you just chase the dream.
I mean, you are now racing, you know, it's a big thing out there. So we're kind of, let's say, just shy of halfway through maybe your first year in pro motocross.
Yeah.
How would you mark yourself between 1 and 10?
Expectation-wise, probably a 10. I'm doing what I would have liked to do at the start of the year, which is good. And it is all a learning curve this year. Every single weekend, as long as I can try and be better than what I was last weekend, it's a win for me.
Yeah.
I've got a great team around me now, racing with Chambers Racing. They're helping me and pushing me to be a better rider all the time, which is great. So yeah, I've got good people around me, and just going out, having fun and doing my best.
I think, you know, it's easy to say it now because it's already happened, but I think you've probably ended up for where you are on one of the best teams you can go to in the paddock. You know, Tim, Has obviously got back into it. Tim Chambers, team manager, been around the sport a long time. You know, obviously just a real friendly vibe you guys have got going over there. Every time you walk around the place, everybody seems to be having a good time. So that's probably helped you relax a little bit as well.
Yeah, it helps on a race day. You know, everyone's so stressed, and it eases everything.
Yeah.
You know, there's such a great team, great people to be around, and yeah, it brings good vibes into the tent.
Well, look, stick with us. Don't go anywhere. You can see the rain starting to come down a little bit more now. Let's get back to some of the racing here, give these guys some honourable name checks. As I said, Billy Askew is opening up his lead at the front in the big wheel. Jake Walker has now gone into second. Yeah, he's moved up. He's on the, what's he riding? No, Jake's not got an entry sponsor. I think the rain's coming down harder now. Hopefully it won't be too bad. The track will take it, certainly. So yeah, Jake Walker is in second. Charlie Richmond is still in third on the Matt Gardner race machine. Billy Askew, by the way, is on the GRT Impact machine. Freddie Gardner in fourth on the Matt Gardner Racing KTM. Then it's Chester Hyde. Chester's on the Matt Pope Racing Gas. Then Ollie Bubb, Passion Racing. Josh Vail, SJP Husqvarna in seventh. Head of Drew Stock on the Madison Free Flow Gas. Then it's Jamie Keith, the ninth. Leading small wheel rider is Sonny Rooney, down in 22nd. That's not him on the deck, just as I called his name. Please not. If I'm throwing out commentators' curses, no, it's not. That's number 17. That's Conor McGrath picking himself up. That's a dodgy corner around there. Our timing's just gone off for some reason. I don't know why, but oh, there we go. Just me being lazy. Got to keep pressing the mouse. Alfie, you've now been out this morning and ridden the track. How's it riding today?
It's definitely misleading. The berms look big and lovely, but underneath all that lovely sand, it's really hard pack. It's slippy. Definitely got to stay switched on. The bumps, they're coming through brutal already.
Are they already?
Yeah, they're definitely kicking you left and right. But no, the track's good. I love this track. It's brilliant. It's very natural as well, which you don't get nowadays, which is good. It's a nice change.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's not littered, is it, with like rollers or big tabletops or anything like that. We've got some good old school drop-offs and ski jumps, which I guess sometimes, as a racer, tabletops, most people have to hit a tabletop at the same speed, really, to hit the downside with ski jumps. As the bumps form afterwards, sometimes you can be courageous and go long, can't you, later in the day as it ruts out and bumps out. Do you get a chance now, being a pro racer, to see much of this racing throughout the day? I mean, we've got you in here now, but as the day goes on, do you have time to come out and watch the youth racing?
You do get a little bit of time. Obviously, you get back, do your routines, whether it be relax after the riding, have some good food, drink, whatever you may need to do. But yeah, we have a look around. It's also good to see who's coming through, and you can learn off of these kids. They are creative, some of them, so it's good to watch them and good to see who's coming through.
Mate, you're saying all the right things, so there you go. It just goes to show that the small wheel and big wheel 85 class brings something to the MX Nationals, and as you just heard Alfie say, you're never too old to learn, because that's just it. One of these kids might just suddenly stumble along a real creative line, sometimes by accident, but then you get to see it. And these guys, obviously, because they're so small and the track gets so brutal, admittedly, it's easier to get little 85cc's in tight and stuff like that, but, they're probably, as the day goes on, be looking to try and avoid the big bumps. And like you're saying, maybe out there watching them, you'll learn a thing or two.
Yeah.
So, I mean, on a whole, today then, like you said, your expectation level has been high. You've kind of you feel like you're doing all right. What would be, and don't say 1-1, because I know that's the obvious answer. What would be a good day for you, regards of results-wise? Like you said, is it just to beat you or better your last result?
Yeah. Just my plans for today is get the best start possible. Get 3 hard laps down in the beginning, see where I end up, and the main goal is just to push forward. That's all you can do. Try and finish better than you started.
That's it, exactly that. Do you, like I said, you don't get too much chance to watch these guys, but you're aware of them. Anyone in particular caught your eye? Obviously, Billy Askew has been immaculate so far this year. He hasn't won every race, but he's always pretty much at the sharp end, and he's at it again. I mean, obviously, probably like yourself, the kid looks like he's got potential. Are you impressed with how he races?
Yeah, he's a very, very good rider. He's clean. But another kid who surprised me, Jake Walker.
Well, yeah.
He's been riding very well this year. I've been watching him.
Well, yeah, Jake's on screen now. He took his first race wins at Landrake last time out on the Sunday. He won both motos. I have to be honest, I hadn't heard much about Jake really until he started riding the MX National. I wouldn't say he'd come from nowhere. I'd heard his name, but I'd never seen him ride until he started doing the MX Nationals this year. The rider on screen, number 99, currently in second. Yeah, he's got a turn of speed about him, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a clean rider. He's fast. He's definitely got raw speed. That's something I had when I was growing up. But
oh, that you did, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, and he seems to be channeling it all into style, and he's got good technique. So yeah, I think he could be a very good rider. Well,
he's currently riding second. We haven't seen much of the race leader Billy Askew because I don't know what size gap he's got, but he should be over the line now. It should be the checkered flag out. But Jake Walker actually came in second in that one. We didn't get. I need to get down there and do a winner's circle. Stay where you are there, Alfie. Just enjoy watching the live stream. I'm going to go and try and chat to him, and we see what he has to say. Okay, you are watching the Sintal 85cc open category, big wheel and small wheel. Sorry, obviously we just missed the start of that one. We stuck with such was the battle in MX2. We just wanted to bring that one all the way to the end and then obviously run out a bit of time to do the winners' circles. But it was too good a race not to bring it all the way to the line. So now we're watching the Sintal 85cc category. As you can see, Billy Askew out in front yet again, but he's got Jake Walker much closer to him this time. So let's see what Jake's got for him. There's Vail putting a move on Charlie Richmond. So Billy Askew looking for a perfect weekend here. Never, you know, that's, look how good you are to still have a perfect weekend. Never comes easy. There's a lot of elements that can happen and go wrong in motocross. Like actually for him last time out, Billy Askew convincingly won both motos on the first day, but had a shocker on the second day, so it can happen. So yeah, these guys are settling down. Let's go through the running order then from top to bottom, literally just as they are in the race. You've got Billy Askew leading the way on the opening lap ahead of Jake Walker. Then Jamie Keith, good start for him in third. Dennis Ollie Bubb for fourth. Charlie Richmond and Joshua Vail, but Vail has now gone past Richmond. Then it's Will Haddock. Elfie Getters Green is your leading small wheel rider. Then it's Drew Stott. Lewis Spratt in 10th. Then Ryan Waggett. 12th is Freddie Gardner. Then it's Gus Musto, his teammate, in 13th. Conor McGrath, 14th. 15th is Hayden Statt. Then it's Jack Beery and Chester Hyde not making such a good start. Blake Ward Clarke, small wheel rider number 1, not getting a particularly good start, nor did Sonny Rooney, who's been in there in the top 3 in the small wheels most of the weekend. Then it's Finley Pickering. You've then got Danny Flood. Zane Stevens is in 22nd. Then it's Isaac Ash for 23rd. Mason Jones, 24th. 25th to 30 reads Ryan Cliff, Lucas Moncrief, Alfie Payne, Max Walsham, Alfie Osborne and Caelan Griffiths. Then 31 to 35 is Tyler Jones, Tyler Townsend, George Clark, Lewis Jenks and Ripley Carter. Right, I have been joined in the commentary booth by a man who's still considerably younger than me, but old enough to know better to not still be out there racing, but he can't help himself. I've been joined by Luke Mellows. Luke, you've already had an honourable name check on the live feed today because I saw you down on the start.
You did, Jeff. Yeah.
Tell us what happened there.
You did. Yeah. Not a great start in that one at all. Just clashed with, I believe, Jack Lindsay. Got a good jump, and he just bounced off the guy next to him, took me down, and then I think there was a domino effect with a few others.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it, out there? I mentioned that in commentary that you're in the lap of the gods, aren't you, when you start clashing handlebars down the straight.
Yeah, I mean, start's so important, especially here. Like, the track is rough and there are lines, obviously, but that racing line does become quite one-liney. So start's important. Everyone's going for it, and yeah, we all want to get a good start.
How have you found it out there other than that this weekend? You enjoying being back racing? Because you took a bit of time out, didn't you? Now you're back at it.
I did, yeah. Knee injury sort of paid dividends to that. I took 18 months out, but it's great. Like, I love this series. It's a series I've done for many years in the past, and having the help I've had from Michelin keeps pulling me back here because I know they're a big supporter of this series.
Sorry about that. We're on about some race times being in. Yeah. So I mean, you've been doing a good thing. That amount of time off a bike. Don't take this the wrong way, but you know, as we get older, when we take an injury, sometimes you think, okay, maybe it's time to call it a day. But I mean, I'm not saying you're an old. How old are you, by the way?
37.
See, you know, it's not. You're not a spring chicken. So
no, definitely not.
To come back from a knee injury at 37 is a lot of commitment. Fair play to you.
Yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed looking after myself and keeping myself healthy, and I actually didn't go through with an operation. It was a case of rehab, because at the point of going for an operation, there was more damage. There was underlying damage, so never did that. So it's just been a struggle, really, to get back fit, do everything I need to do, and the knee's strong. So I love racing bikes, and I'm back at it. Yeah, fair play. Not only do you love racing bikes, you're doing coaching. You're now kind of getting more into that as well, helping the next generation. That's why we thought it'd be great to get you in for this race, because there's some riders, obviously, that, you know, you've been working with young riders and old riders.
So tell us more about what you're doing with that. You're basically now 37 years of experience, now giving back.
Yeah, just like you say, look, giving back to the sport. I'm passionate about it. You know, I think we all are. It's why we come and we do this. And yeah, I've had an introduction, for example, to this class through my stepson, Harlow Green, who unfortunately Christmas time decided he wanted to call it a day. You know, that he had a couple of injuries, but in all fairness, he's talking bikes a lot more now again at home. I think it sticks with you.
It does.
So I don't think it'll be long before you see him back on a bike. But
he'll be back, won't he? He'll be back.
That was an introduction to meeting a lot of this class and realising that, you know, I got a lot to give with the years of experience I've got, and also on the physical side. Like, this sport's so demanding, and I think, you know, other than the guys that are in academies and things like that, they don't realise what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And there's so many little routines and structures that you need to get yourself on, really, to make every bit of the puzzle come together.
Well, yeah, well, obviously, you certainly haven't let yourself go, like I have, you know, because you're still riding. So that's what I mean, that experience counts a lot. So what kind of, you know, you just touched on it a little bit. Have you got any current riders that you're helping out in this race, or not? Is it more like you're working with some regional riders back down in the southwest?
Exactly that. You know, I get more than anything in the off season when there's more time to be doing things. I've got my own business, so when I've got time outside of that, I'm helping club riders and things like that. But when I had that time out, I sort of gave myself a little team name, which is 44 Developments.
Yeah, cool.
And off the back of that, I've started sort of looking to help both youth and pro riders. I feel there's even pro riders out there that have not got the race day support that they maybe need, you know, doing everything in the week because they've got the time in the week. And a good friend of mine actually got involved in private supporting Johnny Adamson.
Right.
And off the back of that, I sort of said, look, I'll step in anywhere I can on race day to help. And credit to John, he's doing great, but that's not, you know, that's not solely down to what I'm doing. He's
well, I'll say it is. You can't say that. I'll say, yeah, you've made the difference now.
You know, he puts the graft in like all the pro riders, but yeah, there's little things, you know, if I can see something, especially riding as well, because I'm on the same track as him at MX Nationals, if I can see something that helps out, I'll pass that on, you know, and even vice versa. So, you know, that's a small introduction to, say, helping someone at that level. And who knows for the future? Yeah, I'd love to think I could put a little academy together.
Well, fair, you're starting, mate. That's a good starting point. And the sport, we all need, if we're going to raise the level of professionalism, the more people with experience and putting back and helping the next generation, it's all going to help. Good on you. Let's go give you a rundown then of who's where. You've been watching Jamie Keith on screen a lot. You can't miss him, actually, in that MX, just fluoro kit. He's good for a commentator and for a TV crew to put up. That might be the key. You know, wear fluoro kit. And our
bright, you stand out.
Our cameramen will pick you up straight away. On screen right now, there we go. You're looking at Drew Stock on the Madison free flow team. New little team.
I see Freddie Gardner making some ground up there.
Yeah, Freddie as well on the Matt Gardner racing machine. Drew there, number 18, said riding for a new team, Madison Free Flow. Seems like a shameless plug. I didn't mean it to be, but that's another little team that I have started with the guys at Madison. And it's good to see Drew out there coming back off an injury at the beginning of the year. He had to sit out the first couple of rounds, but he's getting back up to speed. He's got ambitions to go and race the European Championship next year. So first year in the big wheel class and looking good. Any particular, I mean, all these riders obviously are going to catch your eye. I get that, Luke. But you have to be impressed with where Billy Askew's at for such a young rider.
Yeah, of course. Like to do what he's doing, and you mentioned it earlier, not just once, but you know, sometimes 3 times, 4 times over a weekend. That is all those pieces of the puzzle coming together. You know, that's years of training, riding, and getting that structure right, and it's proven in his riding.
I mean, the sport has developed so much. Obviously, when I used to race, and then you after me in the youth category, it just wasn't like this, was it? You know, we'd go and do occasional like nationals. There wasn't a national championship as such. It was like each club had a national two-dayer, and you had things like the one-off events like the champions and BSMA final. But the level, I mean, I know it's all relative, I get that, but the idea, I watch these kids now and think, I mean, there would be no chance that I was doing that their age. I was lucky. I was pumped when I did my first one-hander.
The circuit out there now, obviously, from being out there earlier in the expert race, you know, it is really rough. It's choppy. There's bumps out there the size of the wheels on these bikes, and credit to these boys. You know, they're holding their own.
Yeah.
They're riding great, and yeah, it's a tough series. But if anything, it builds them up for what the future holds. You know, they are, if they want to progress and they want to go into, you know, racing bigger nationals or European or World Series even, you know, you need this introduction.
Yeah, absolutely do, and that's what we've tried to do here at the Michelin Mx Nationals. As you can see, these little wheels riders, that's Gus Musto on his small wheel bike. And there is a difference between the big wheels and small wheels. Obviously, one's big wheel, one's small wheel. I'm not on about the actual measurement. What I mean is, it makes a big difference, those big wheel bikes. They just get over the holes a little bit more and carry a bit more speed, don't they? The small wheel riders, I think it's brutal for them out there.
Yeah, definitely. Just that, like you say, the rolling speed of the big wheel helps massively. Again, I know from experience with Harlow stepping up onto a big wheel, it made a massive change. You know, and I think they're all skeptical to get on it because they just feel it's big, but actually it helps them in the long run because they're not feeling half the bumps, and then they're soon at home.
I just watched while you're talking there, Alfie Green in the all red just put a lovely move on the inside of Gus Musto, and then where's Gus gone actually? He's dropped right back. He's
stumped him a little bit there.
I think they have, because Ward Clarke's gone by him. Gus looks like he's got a problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks like he's dropped 2 or 3 bikes there.
Yeah.
In all fairness, like Gus, I know he's coming off the back of a big crash in the off-season, and confidence has been an issue. But this weekend, to be honest, he's had some great rides. So hopefully he picks himself back up from this, or if it's a mechanical, they get it sorted.
Yeah, I mean, difficult to say. Look, he's rolling everything. You just saw him off the screen there. I really hope for Gus Musto's sake that's a bike issue and nothing that he's done to his body. But he's suddenly parked it up and is going very slow. He might come into shot in a minute. There's Zane Stevens, number 80, the rider. Yeah, there's Gus. No, it's a bike problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's lost his...
He's cruising there, isn't he, on the pegs?
Just seeing gear lever. I wonder if he's lost his gear lever or he's stuck in gear. He was looking down the left-hand side. The speed he's going would indicate that he's probably stuck in gear or lost his gear lever. Yeah,
bike issue more so, which is, you know, good news in one way. It's not him personally, but yeah, could be quite heavily affecting his championship points right now.
Yeah, there's Ryan Raggett. There's Alfie Green. So let's see if I can separate the classes here on Speed Hive and let you know who's winning the MX2. There's Ward Clarke, number 1. He's quite well up there, no doubt, in the small wheel category. Just get it back on and separate the classes out here, if I can. Please happen.
I see Ollie Bubbs found himself sandwiched between Charlie Richmond and Freddie Gardner, the teammates of Matt Gardner MX there. Yeah,
so you've got a Passion Racing filling in a Matt Gardner Racing sandwich, I suppose is some way of looking at it.
Ollie's actually parked next to me, and I know yesterday didn't get a great start in the first race and found himself sort of just following a leader, but he's had 2 great starts, both in the second race yesterday and the first race today.
So we're just trying to get this thing to work. I can kind of do it by what we've got going on here. I think I finally... Yeah, Alfie Green, there he is. I'm glad we're giving him some TV time.
Is that 111?
That is 111. That's Alfie. He's out there.
Good bit of exposure for sponsors there.
Oh, did you see Ward Clarke go through the screen there, like literally nosing in? He hit a massive kicker. Okay, well, let me see if I can get Darren, our director, to get on this. We're following the race leader in the small wheel, but now the rider behind him, the rider in all red, he's leading the small wheels, but rider number 1, Ward Clarke, is all over him. So if we can go back, I'm not sure if Darren can get the cameraman to pick up the race leader in the small wheel. Race leader is 111 and all red. There's the second place rider. We're slowly catching them up. So we're going to go to the next camera angle and hopefully catch them up. There we go. That's your race leader in the small wheels, 111. And Ward Clarke is charging. Number 1, he is closing him down.
Does look that way, yeah. He's reining him in a bit there.
Do you ever tell yourself, Luke, when you're closing down a rider, do you have to have the mental thing is like, well, you're doing the right thing, and then just tell yourself to not over panic? Or do you just, if you're feeling it, I suppose just depending where you're at in the race, right?
Yeah, race and also track. To be honest, this track, you can't really fight it too much, you know, and you need to be a bit patient with what you're doing. If you know you're catching the guy in front, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you start racing it too hard, it could bite you, you know, and, you know, you saw second place you mentioned there in this small wheel class.
Ward, yeah.
Just catch that bump back there across the veranda in the second field, you know, and that could be just offline. He's pushing hard. You know, he's going to probably try and correct that in the next lap, I'm sure. But, you know, mistakes are easily made.
Well, I've got to say, Ward Clarke is absolutely charging. He is giving everything at it because he knows that that rider in front of him, Alfie Jones, is the race leader in this small wheel category. Let's just run through that, by the way. Small wheel 85 category, currently leading, as you know, there he is on screen. Number 111 is Alfie Jones. Second is Ward Clarke. Then it's Hayden Statt, who's got out of the traps better in this one. He's hit the start gate twice over the weekend, so he's finally avoided doing that and has made a better start in third. Then it's Sonny Rooney for fourth. Then Finley Pickering in fifth. Number 310 on the KX is Lucas Moncrief. He's out there in sixth. Seventh is Ryan Cliff. Then it's Danny Flood in eighth. This is the small wheel category, by the way. Mason Jones in ninth. Then it's Lewis Jenks in 10th and George Clark in 11th. In the big wheel category, Billy Askew leads the race by now 16 seconds over Jake Walker. He's gone and heading off to make it another perfect weekend, 4 out of 4. Jake Walker in second, as I said. Then it's Josh Vail, Jamie Keefe, who we saw earlier on in the race, in fourth. Charlie Richmond is in fifth, ahead of Ollie Bubb and Freddie Gardner. So Ollie Bubb still in there between the two Matt Gardner racing machines. Then it's Drew Stock in eighth. Chester Hyde is in ninth. 10th is Ryan Wagger. Then it's Conor McGrath in 11th. Lewis Spratt is currently 12th, ahead of Zane Stevens. Then Isaac Ash from down in Devon, ahead of Tyler Jones. Then Alfie Payne. Gus Musto is circulating in 17th, but I think he's still going round with some kind of problem.
Probably a case of points there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Just salvaging some points. Then it's Caelan Griffiths for 18th. 19th is Alfie Osborne. Okay, so there we go. So, run us through your results so far then the weekend.
Expo MX1 class, I've had a 10th, a 5th, and an 8th.
8th is a good comeback from where you were.
It
down
was,
on the first, well, not even the first corner. You didn't even make it to the
No,
first
I didn't get
corner.
that far. No, I'm happy with that. Like I say, the track's tough, and the start is so important. I had a better start in the second race yesterday, and obviously 5th overall proved that.
Proved good. Well, it looks like Alfie Jones is going to get the checkered flag here and the race win. Let's get him to winner's circle. I'll go and do that. Luke, just stay there for a minute. I'll come back to you in a minute and we'll do a proper sign-off. Let's go and catch up with Alfie Jones. Here he is, man of the moment. We couldn't speak to him in the first one. Small wheel winner, Alfie Jones. Looks like you're having fun out there, Alfie. How tough's the track for these little small wheels?
Yeah, it's proper tough. Really good fun though. First time here, loved it, yeah.
It's your first time, is it? Right, okay. So, listen, how was it? You had a good race going on there with Ward Clarke. Did you know he was behind you?
Yeah, I knew he was behind me, but you know, just try to keep my cool and just do what I can.
Right, you've got an array of sponsors. Let's give them a good name check.
Fox. Right, Fox.
Read them off the bike. It's
Matt
easier.
Motorcycles, Goggle Tech, Sandbox. I don't know.
There you go. Proving that he does go to school because he can read. Alfie, well done. Good ride. We'll get him out of here. Alfie Jones, winner of the small wheel.